It's GC here, and we're back with a movie review. Fury, a 2014 American war film set during World War II, directed by David Ayer, who previously brought us Sabotage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This time around, he's working with Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, Logan Lerman, Michael Peña, Jon Bernthal, Jason Isaacs, and Scott Eastwood. So what's it about? Set during the last month of World War II, during the final stretch when Allies are pushing into Nazi Germany, and it's basically surrounding the story of a Army Staff Sergeant in the 66th Armor Regiment and his crew for his tank Fury. And basically it's just talking about what they went through and what jobs do they need, and they got a noob played by Logan Lerman, and basically it talks about how Logan Lerman is sort of like caught up in all this crazy war business, and these hard veterans are just looking at this super fresh and green kid from the States or whatever. And basically that's the entire movie. So what did I think? Whoa. Well, first off, David Ayer. If you have seen Sabotage, that was a very bloody and gory film. And definitely he carries it over here. And it's much appreciated as it brings the brutalness and just the crazy, oh my goodness, body blowing up sort of style of war right to your eyes. And it just makes it much more authentic in terms of just the casualties and the craziness of war, what a person can do to another person's body sort of thing. So it really hammers home the whole authentic war theater sort of thing. And also in terms of authentic, it really gives a storyline of characters where it just feels really rugged and authentic in terms of what men back in the 1940s really went through when they were going through this war. And it's like a really weird sort of play style in terms of we're rooting for these guys because they're Americans killing Nazis, like, yeah, like kill the enemy sort of thing. But you see this dark side of them as they're so just don't give a crap about anything. They're just really rugged and just like really, there's a really troubled characters, but it really shows authenticity as in like why we have such a crazy need for PTSD after the war, because this film really showcases how messed up a person can be or what things that they would go through and see during a war, and it's just really great in terms of bringing home the authenticity and just like how realistic it is in terms of portraying men during World War II. Another crazy thing that I really enjoyed was the whole tank battles, as in it's so like epic in proportion, as in like there's so many things happening and you gotta make sure you don't miss or like you're dead, because it's one of those like you hit, you kill. And it's not just one of those like scrambling like so much like, oh, there's nothing at stake, but rather everything is at stake. So I really love the intensity and the thrills in those tank battles, and the way they orchestrated it was just really fun to watch, and it's cinematically a view to behold. And it was just, wow, like tanks. We haven't had tanks in films for a long time, and especially with a tank-centric movie, it's like definitely worth your while just to check out the tank battles in this movie, and I would love to watch it again. Now, in terms of acting, Brad Pitt is hands down just Brad Pitt again. He plays a troubled sort of commander as he's trying to keep his crew alive, whereas Logan Lerman is the noob, and he's really trying to fit in. And then I think Logan Lerman came through and did a great job in terms of just being the new kid on the block, and he was authentic enough that I didn't cringe when he delivered lines or just wish that he would just not exist, but rather I enjoyed his screen time. And also in terms of Shia LaBeouf, with him being just a gong show in real life, I was just like, don't really want to see him. But in terms of acting, this guy still got it, and really I wish he has more stuff in this style rather than, you know, Transformers. So I'm glad that he's out of the Transformers franchise, and hopefully he'll bring something like better in terms of just to showcase his like acting ability. And in terms of the other two, they were just alright, I guess. I mean, they brought what was needed. Didn't really surprise me with their acting, because it's just what their archetype usually is. And yeah, basically this movie is authentic, and it's just really great that it had that war vibe. Definitely I would compare it in terms of atmosphere and vibe with Saving Private Ryan, but I think it goes even beyond, as it really addresses the whole mental strain these soldiers were put on during World War II, and their psyche is really challenged. It's like they are pretty messed up in terms of how they view life now, because they went through so much. Here, it does a great job in balancing the whole psyche of the soldier and the action and just the general storyline and just like fighting for your country sort of thing. So overall, it has been a great... Overall, it was a great film. I would say it was really enjoyable. I mean, if you're interested in World War II stuff, or always have been, definitely check this out for sure. And definitely for those who are like, I'm sick of World War II stuff, like, why are we still making films for this, like, genre, I definitely say give this one more chance. Like, this movie really breaks to why World War II is still such a big thing to talk about. And I think this really addresses the whole, like, even current day, modern day, like, soldiers, what they could go through. And it's just really addresses some key issues here, I would say. And did I not like anything? No. I would say this movie could have been longer for me, because it runs at 134 minutes. That's like over a bit, 2 hours. And I really did enjoy the vibe of the scope, the vibe, the atmosphere. So I would have not mind for a 2.5 hour movie, because I really loved the performance from all the cast, and it was just a gritty, authentic, way of soldiering. And basically that's pretty much it for this movie review. I mean, if you have seen Fury, leave your comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And that is all for this Fury. Out.